One of the best things about Google Ads is that you can run a very successful campaign even with a small budget. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to calculate a realistic minimum budget for your business. This is a question I get all the time. It's an important thing for beginners in particular to know. So let's get to it. So I'm here inside an example Google Ad account, and I've gone into the keyword planner tool. And what I want you to do is I want you to enter a core keyword that really describes the product or service that you offer, something very obvious. So for example, if we were advertising a carpet fitting business advertising their services, we would simply enter in something like carpet fitting. And if I go ahead and pop that into the keyword planner, click get started, then we get all this information from Google that they provide with a keyword planner. Now, there's lots of great info here, but what I want you to focus on are these bid ranges, right? Top of page bid, high range and low range. We can see the low range is 74p and high range is £3.39. So that's an estimate of what we may end up paying per click. Now, in terms of your minimum starting budget, what I'd like you to do is times the high range number, £3.39, by 5, which in this case is going to come at just under £17. So let's say £17, let's round it up, okay? So £17 per day would be a good minimum starting budget for this carpet fitting business. And the reason why we times it by 5 is that we need to get enough clicks for Google to get enough data to be able to optimize your campaigns, but also for you as the advertiser to get enough data to be able to optimize your campaigns. If you only have 1 or 2 clicks a day, it is going to take forever for you to work out which ads perform the best. Not just you, Google the same thing, and it's going to take so long for your campaigns to optimize, so long for them to get to the point where they can perform well. If you times it by 5 and we use that high range number, then you're going to generate at least 5 clicks a day, and realistically, you're probably going to generate more like 10, maybe more, because you're not going to be paying the high range, the absolute top of that range per click every time. The average is probably going to be somewhere between those two numbers in the low range and the high range. So we're probably looking at more like 10 clicks per day, which is a really good starting point to get that data to be able to optimize. When you are operating with a small Google Ads budget, there's some things you really need to be aware of and some tips I'm going to run through now. So I'd recommend starting by advertising just one product or service. You don't want to spread out that small budget thinly, because then you run into the same issues that we were trying to avoid in the first place, which is only generating, say, 1 or 2 clicks per product or per service and not getting enough data. If you just start with one product or service, you're going to consolidate that data into the campaign that's designed for that product or service. You're going to find out what works, what doesn't, be able to optimize all that good stuff. I'd recommend starting with your best performing product or service. You want to put your best foot forward. You want the one that is most likely to do well. And what that's going to allow you to do is reinvest. So let's say you set up your campaign, it's your best seller, it performs well, well, you can then increase your budget with those results, with the revenue generated, and scale up the campaign and generate more revenue, and scale up the campaign and generate more revenue. And then of course, once that's ticking along nicely, you could then look to take some of that revenue generated and use that to fund campaigns for other products and services that you might sell. So that's a typical approach that we would go with. I'll get to another couple of really important points in a second. Before I do, just want to quickly mention about our done-for-you Google Ad services. So if you're interested in having my company create, manage, and optimize your Google Ad campaigns, you can find a link in the video description below. That'll take you to a page where you can book a call directly in with one of my team members to find out more information. You can find out how we work, how we might be able to help improve your results. Hopefully, we get a chance to work together. So with small budgets, it's really important to be quite aggressive with your offers, particularly if you operate in an industry where there are known competitors. Why would your prospects choose you, a business they haven't heard of, over a brand that they may know, that they may have bought from before, that they definitely trust? Well, you do that by being more aggressive with your offers. Can you undercut them on price significantly? Can you offer a much better level of service? There's different ways to improve offers, but that's something I would really focus on, particularly with a small budget. You also want to be as clear as you possibly can be about what it is that you offer in your ad copy, because you want to filter out those people that would otherwise have clicked, but when they come through to your website, they realize that what you offer isn't actually for them, and then they just bounce off. That's a waste of budget. When you've got a small budget, that's extra important. So you can include things in your ad copy around price, or who is this offer for? Is it for families with small children? Is it for people who work within a certain industry? Perhaps there's a subsection of your niche that you focus on in particular. Let's say the niche is fly fishing, for example, and you serve people that are after a specific type of fish within the fly fishing niche. Well, you want to put that in your ad, because you don't want someone who's into fly fishing for trout to click on through to your website and you're all about fly fishing for salmon, and they're just not right and they're going to bounce. That's a waste of money you've already paid to get into your website. So you can filter people out at the ad level with your ad copy, and that's really important with a small budget, because you don't want to be paying for those clicks for people who aren't going to convert. As you're interested in finding out what your Google Ads budget should be, I think you'd benefit massively from checking out this video. It's a full beginner's guide to Google Ads, how to set up campaigns. It walks you through the entire process. The feedback has been great. I'd go ahead and give it a watch.